inside the shoulders. Go ahead and spread your feet more. So I say set. I want you to give me a flat back. I want you while the feet are balanced up. The tight you've never quad, the down hand, just inside the down foot. And then we're going to just hang the three hands with the shoulder pads and left. It'll be on a double step roll. Set! Set! Hang that three hands. Go ahead and split out about 4 or 5 yards, Doug. Over here, the two of you spread out. We like to flex the tight end some, especially in the shorter passing game, if we're not a double slot team. Then, Garen, how about if, I know you're learning, but you might as well do this. Just stacking behind him. If you're on the right, you want the inside foot up. On the left, you want the inside foot up. What's nice about this stuff we do, we just learned this stuff. Kyle, turn around, talk to the camera about the up stance. Because your tight end flex is going to be something we're going to show you later as one of the 3 stances for the wideout. Get the camera on, Kyle. Explain the tight end stance and the flex.
Well, where we got this from was we had a speed coach come in and start doing speed training for our football team, and we did the same stuff all year, and he talked about running and the mechanics of running and all that stuff. And the big thing he got into was it's the arms that crank the feet. Okay, so what he has us do, my inside foot's up, we kick the back foot back about half a yard, we stay on our toes, okay? Now our opposite arm's up. As soon as we take off, we push off both toes, and I'm gone, because my arms are already cranking now, okay? Instead of being here, and then I have to take time to come up and then start cranking, I'm already here. Just first and go. So you're pushing off of both toes. Really, it's off of the back, and you're locking the front leg when you start taking off the cranking. And what's nice is something that you're facing off the pain much, bring your arms up.
So what the difference is for the tight end, when they're up in a flex, in the old days they had to go over the front foot. Now they're kicking off the back toe. Can you see the difference? Okay, Kyle, jog over, Kyle. Get those guys in a tight end flex stance on the left, and then come back and get for Brett the stance here. This is just a tight end flex. Then I'm going to show you the big secret in a minute. If the tight end is flex, what happens 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a defender in space, right? Either outside back, nickel back, strong safety, somebody's going to be in a space. Then we'll talk about the little bit of variance in the hand placement if there's a guy in your face. Because it's in your face and it's passed, he's going to squat and pull you up and play tight hand to man. You're going to learn the big secret later, which is really going to be used for the wide out. You're going to love it. Put this out and have all got up on tape. Great having you here, Shane Gantz, part of San Diego Mission College, University of San Diego, Orange Coast College, and a sort of other places. Okay, you got them going. Just practice it, man. Just walk through it and try to come off the back toe. And then you go over here, you'll talk him up a little bit. Why we're doing this way, this is how you would teach them. If you have 4, 3, 6, 8. And then just start coming off easy, then start coming off about half speed. This is an EDD, man. Anybody got an idea?
Everyday drill.
Everyday drill. Early outs, they come out, they do this on their own. Okay, if you guys all get lined up, staggered up, put one guy on the line, one guy back a few yards. Kyle's up first. Cut the camera, Brett. Here's what I was talking about a minute ago. If the tight end is flex, coverage, they're coach-elect, they're going to cover down on the number 2, not just going to let him off clean. All right, so what happens, go ahead and show us that stance. Now, you take a look at his hands, right? If that guy's playing squat jam like in the NFL, don't show him that thing. Just keep your hands how that big guy shows you. The problem is, if he already has his hands here, God, here it goes. If you don't get nothing out of today, God, I didn't get very far. If I didn't get it, if you don't get nothing out of today, here's the big 6. What you're going to do, he's up in jam, he's showing his hands. You're going to change your hands. You're going to bring your hands up with an elbow break where your hands are higher than his hands. You're going to have to be able to slap off and all that later. We're going to get into that, right? So what you guys are going to do, alternate. One guy's up, one guy's in his face. All right? Moves in his face. First, show us the center stance, and then as soon as you see his hands up, underneath, you got to get your hands higher than his hands. We place the hands. Good. You guys switch. Be sure that you're outside defense, you cheap suckers. Alternate your hands. Good. Now, the big thing out of the flex, if you'll turn the tape off a moment, try in flex. Guys are slot. Step up on the line. When you first come out, you got to check the nearest tip of the ball. Right? Make sure I'm properly aligned. Then you got to get your eyes back up field so you can find the defender. So you're going to shoot on Kyle first. What you're going to do, what should happen? Kyle's eye fixation is going to the tip of the ball or the tip nearest the quarterback. That tip here is back there. Then his eye starts in your face. You can't swat it if you can't see it. So if the guy's in your face, once he gets the line, he's going to have to get his eyes back on him, and he's going to have to hear the count. There's nobody there. His eyes on the tip. Does that make any sense? Okay, shoot here first. Go ahead, Kyle. Go ball. Ball to the defender. Here we go. Yeah. Yep, and then what Kyle's going to do, outside of your players will be an effect. And that guy is sir. And if you can't hear it, you use hand signals. You go, sir, I'm up. You're in a slot, you go, sir, I'm back. If you acknowledge it and say something to him, if you're off roll, he's got to tell you to move up or move back. If you don't say nothing, he doesn't have to say nothing. So if he's had a bad day, it's doink. Turn, so you guys are going to turn. So, sir, I'm up. You're going to go ball, official, squat. Go ahead, Kyle. Ball, sir, I'm up. Official, defender, and change. Excellent. Guys flip, reps up. Ball, official, and change the hands on the squat defender. Good. You're offside, John. Okay, here we go. Okay, again now for you. Ball, official, and change the hand. Now, you cannot jerk the hand. You just fully change. All right? The rule is, you want movement on the hand and the down. Know that. Okay, here we go. Garen's up. Ball. Thumb up. Hand change. Excellent. You guys flip. The fight in New Mexico State up. Doug Brady. Ball. Up. Hand change. Good. Go ahead, turn off him. Out. First, we're going to put the outside linebacker, the down guy, heavy. Put back. Out. Apart. How many times have you got? You can go through this again. Right? One side stand up dummy. Start out with oxygen or in. Just to give them the feel of the guy there. When we get into the actual get off, swat off, punches, all that, then we'll add a shield guy and the big. But I think first we want to go with the big block. So start out first. Come up with a flat back. And the down. You know, you gotta get wide. These are real wide now. On the inside has a big. Out. Up. Okay. Tight ends on the knee. Tight ends on to the right. Tight ends on to the right. So another coach thing, in my opinion, there's a lot of tight ends. The first thing is this one. To be able to escape a heavy defender, you got to get your pads under his pads. The only way you do that is think for his. So what we're going to do first, and we're going to work inside. Release. Going out. If they try to get an inside release, you know, the drag, if they come down on an angle, they can get knocked off or so shallow. Yep. Elbow to the good game. Hand stays seeing more and more there's the teams that play an 8-man front. Yeah. Chainless front. Right. Five. Here. They reduce, they know the rip, but they don't get back up in time to get your ass running. Because the dealing about running, when it's time to pop your ass back. So we're getting the right. Right over that back. One more time, please. We're going to stay on them at a safe first step. Yep. Okay, we go. Much better on the step. Good. Good.
I just had a question.
Get a picture of us together. The important thing would be, we'll get into this later, teach your kids how to steady tape the opponent. If it's an obvious pass, you've got to really enact it on those nickel guys. Fast. You're tight end. But it's, or I'm going to convoy or zone cutoff anyway. What could I do, Rick Riker, in my stance so that outside backer would be able to check my team? You know what I'm saying? But you need to get into those kind of things. That's excellent. Go ahead and turn it off. Outside release. Explain that to them in the drill thing, too. They're getting both done at the same time. Why we tilt the back. On and off. A paintbrush thing. Yes? Waxing on and off is a tight end thing to release on that. Comes off. Yeah. Come off. I just want to see the squat somewhere down in here. I don't want to see it up here. Hold the coach low. Come off. Easy squat. Go ahead and film them as I talk. We did a time study last year. I forget which camp it was. We had a guy come out with a stopwatch. when we finally started teaching things. The only way your players get better is they get to physically do it. What we did, we stopped going on snap count, let them go. We saved 30 minutes out of an hour practice block by not going down to go or your snap count. Just explain it, let them go, because you are fighting time. They get more reps, you know. Plus, that's back to Homer Smith. We don't want them getting cued into hearing the coaches. We want them glued in, DJ, on just getting used to the voice inflection of your actual quarterback. Idea is how fast it's got to be, boom, and we form that T, just like in the D line, right? As we come off, what you don't want to do is pop and ricochet, right? You want to come off. As you pop lean, we form the T, right? And it's got to be really quick. I don't care how hard you come off, but you'll find something. The faster their hands go, the faster their feet go. Just like DBs, the faster your hands go in the pedal, the faster your feet go. Okay, here we go. Good. Go ahead and turn it off. Very active, outside backwards nickel. Yes? This can also happen to our slots, Rick Riker out of Eagle. When they're up on the line, here we're still on tight end. What's going to happen, he's very active. So what I'm going to do, I've tried to come inside or out. He's been beating the crap out of me, right? And even though I'm getting a squat and the rip, I'm getting pushed by too far one way or the other. So I want to use a counter squat. A counter squat, they'll come up on their own. We used to bird dog this. But you know, we found out if you can't dance, you can't play tight end either. Because we tell them that at all positions. We don't like to break down the counter squat anymore, and then we're right back to saving time. What's going to happen, and here's the big secret. When you get down on your own, this is the big secret. You're going to step about a hard 6 inches just inside of that outside backwards feet. The key is you don't turn the hips or the shoulders. The escape side foot stays straight ahead. Tight ends at any age, you'll find when they use a counter squat release, they beat themselves because now what you're going to do, Scout, when I step here, you're going to lean in here. And you see me come back, and try to bring it back. Here's when I'm talking about get on my feet. What happens, they jab and they turn their hips in here, right? Now they try to counter back, he's all over you. Keep the escape side toe straight ahead. Yes? Don't come up, jab, still squat the escape side, form the T, get back on the midline. Just go easy and do it on your own. When you first do it, all you look at is their feet. Second, all you look at is the squat. Third, all you look at is the pad level. Don't try to see it all at once, you know what I'm saying? And then as they get proficient, they'll speed it up a little bit. That's a good one right there. Good. Turn it off a minute. Go pick up a... How come I put them in the brooms? A, just a hypothetical. I thought their feet were pretty good, thought the squat was pretty good, but I don't think that hip and shoulder is getting down far enough on the squat, you know what I'm saying? Instant feedback, get your skinny butts in the broom. Now, obviously, you won't be able to squat. You'll do it on your own, you'll step, come back. Now, what happens on these also? Once they step and come around, they got to get the brooms, got to stay down all the way to about here, and then they'll straighten out again just like they did earlier. Now, even on the counter squat, because most tight ends, Shane Gantz coached tight ends at the University of San Diego. I bet you'll be the first to tell me. A lot of those guys, when they just would escape one way or the other, stayed down a lot lower than they did if they ever had to counter squat.
Exactly.
It's natural to pop up. You've got to eliminate that in a hurry. On your own, counter squat footwork and reducing hips and shoulders on the brooms. Get fired up, DJ, I hope. You up, Coach Stryker? Because the point being, man, off-season program, yes, you need to bring in the guys that aren't in other sports and lift. and all that, but you need to do some football stuff each day where guys are looking forward to coming. You know, because every day you're springing something on them. We've got it broken down by every position. All you're doing is you're fighting a battle of physiology. Just making them efficient in movements. Because the key is they're going to be thinking about the brooms in the game. That's a mindset. Go ahead and turn it off to shield people. All right, now let's get into change-ups and counters. You'll see this all on tape if time permits after a while. This first change-up is the stun. The stun. You don't just have to do this on play action. This is a great change-up on drop back pass. He's very active, you know. He's really quick. He's got great hands. Occasionally, you just come off and stone him, just like 100 drive block. Get all of them, right? We come out, we punch pound. Now, the point being, how come the handles are at him? The handles are at him, and you got to hold it in your chest. The handles are at him. If you're ever going to use a stun, if you're ever going to use a stun, if you're going to come off and stun and pound a couple of steps, showing him drive block. Yes, we never reduce and come under or over. We always throw by. Carryover's incredible. Just like in the D line, just like a backside, inside, backer block protection, right? That's why the handles are at them. Teach it backwards. Pick up your shield, hold it firm. You guys, step up to your left foot slightly staggered. You gotta hold your shield. I want them to grab the handles. Show me a flat back, because one foot or the other is going to be in front as you come off and stun the outside back or nickel back. Set! Ease it up. Set! Ease it up. Here's phase 2. On your own. No bird dog, but this is your speed. I'm like this speed. I'm already in the front, right? I'm just going to pound. 6-8-inch steps with positive shin angles. Just pound out about 2 or 3 yards on your own. So I've come off, I've stunned them, and I'm pounding. This does not just have to be on your own, men. It does not have to be. I'm back. Now, they wouldn't have to take them that far, but you know everything we do is an exaggeration. Yes? But again, this does not just have to be on play action. This is a great change-up against a real active heavy defender on drop back pass. Just boom, and then get off, which we'll show you in a minute. Go ahead again, men. Just pounding 3 or 4 steps is fine. You should be able to shut your eyes like I heard on Smooth. You should hear that pound. Now, get him. Now, put the right foot up. On your own. I've already punched him. Go ahead and pound him. Come on back and just speed it up a little bit. You're bringing your pads up, Kyle. That's what it's stay down, Smooth. Down back. Let's see who can get it. You guys are in the progression. Shane Gans knows what's coming next is the throw-by part. Why do you think now, and if you don't have the answer, I mean, that's cool. I'm just trying to get your thought process going, right? So if any of you guys get the answer first, say it. Step up on him, Kyle. Just focus on Kyle. Put one foot or the other forward. Go ahead and get locked up. Now, why do you think in essence that unlike the old days, we don't teach the throw-by now from scratch? Does anybody have any idea? Why don't we do this stationary? And it gets back to something I brought up earlier, that you can't play for us except if you can dance. In other words, your feet and your throw-by got to work together. So what I'm saying is, how I can gain a couple of inches vertically. Yes? If I ever decide to stun him, DJ, Rick, Garen as a changeup. The ideal would be is what? If I was stepping this way already, if I'm trying to escape that way, as I throw by, if I be throwing by as I'm stepping that way, you're going to gain about that much. So, Brett and collar up. You can stagger either foot, it doesn't matter to me. You do know you want to get back on the midline to your left. What you're going to do, you're going to come off about a quarter speed in the fit. You've got to learn to feel it. So right as I'm coming a couple steps to here, I know if that foot comes, that's where I'm throwing, scraping paint, getting back on the midline. In other words, they're going to learn how to dance, they're going to learn how to time the throw by off the stun. You can't do it stationary because they'll get caught up trying to go with the back foot around, then the guy's right back on you again. Does this make any sense? And this ties into the wide receiver stuff a ton later. Okay, go ahead on your own. The idea, men, look at me. The idea is you're pounding back, right as this foot, after a few steps of starting that way, that's when you know it's time to throw by. We're in there tight. Your hands are inside the frames of the armpits. That is not holding. That's why the handles are at them. We want them to latch on. All right, here we go. A little wide, getting back to the midline. And that's natural at first. Good throw-bys, but they're getting a little wide. You want to hug him, try to get back on the midline, man. Here we go. Much better. Two much betters right there. One more time, please, for the video. Can you see the value of just explain it and get them going? Because they learn to dance sooner. I think you can get to the point where you overcoach things a point, because in the game they can't do the robot. Why we also do this, one more time, guys, as I expound, why we also do this, based on how good Shane's hands are on me as I punch and drive, or how deep the route is. Sometimes I'm going to take fewer or more pound steps, so that's why we just do it off the movement, right? Because you got to learn to get it timed out, right, to gain those extra 6 inches. Okay, pass the baton back. You're coming off with both the down hand and the back hand, right? I want you to come off and really give them that punch and pound. There's no escape on your own. Now, because we've taught it backwards, now we're coming out of the down stance and attacking the mother on the change-up on the stun, either drop back or play action. Pass the baton back, step, punch, and start pounding. Good. Come on back. One more time. Boy, I should shut my ear. Boom! Give them a little pressure, scouts, but let them win. Whoa, come on back. Now, they're doing a great job, but this is important. Get right up there where you're at. Now, come off. Knowing today we're just escaping to the left, yes? Now, come off, pass the baton, punch, pound, try to time it out, right as this foot's coming after 2 steps, and throw by, on the tee, get back on the midline. Okay, here we go. One more time, please, men. But isn't this exceptional? You getting fired up, Shane?
Yeah, I got some.
See, Shane, I tell you, when he's a USD, he's probably as good a job coaching tight ends as I've ever seen. But that they got into the buzz terms and the 65, 35 blocks and all that. See, this is 100. Why we don't go, Shane, 65, 35 based on the side of the release, after a while they can figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, if he's good with his hands, he's going to be fighting it, and then you're just bringing him into the escape.
Kyle's coming up a little sooner than Brett.
Yep.
Okay. So you want to stand his chest on quads a lot longer.
Try to keep your chest on your quads just a little bit longer, Tom. One more time, men, we'll move along. There you go. Tom. One more time, men, we'll move along.
There you go.
Much better, that's the way to lift. We're really big on that via vicarious learning, you know what I'm saying?
You like that?
If you don't get it, first time Coach brings it up, we expect to see it the next time. I'm going to talk to somebody to get it done. If any of you have an idea, it can be you. But I want to come up with the same stuff that's inside of these shields. I want to get in a vest, front and back. So you can actually grab on and squeeze. You know, it's got that spongy stuff in it. It's just basically smooth. That'll be called the punch vest. Why I'm going to do that off season, then your guys can get off, get their hands inside, punch, pound, man blocker zone. Pass pro, if the guy ever spins, you learn to punch him with a knife right in the middle of his back, but you can never teach that in the off season full speed because you can't do that. So they just tap. But I think that's a good idea. But there's got to be a way to get this done. Because the pro guys I've talked to, college guys, have told me if there was ever a punch vest, they'd buy it. Rogers made 8 and gave them to the Philadelphia Eagles, but they're not going to do it anymore. But I thought that was a good idea. Well, the point of the vest, guys, is this. Tight ends line up. Now, their shields are gone. Why we go to the live vest? Only if we don't think they're getting a great punch. Because if you notice how we have those handles, with the handles at them, the idea is to get the knife. So what's going to happen, man, the scouts are as important as the tight end. Go ahead and get down, Smooth. But I want you backers, I want you to really hunker down, and I want you to bring your hands just outside of his shoulder straight. He isn't going to touch your hands. And it'd be good to shut your fist. What I want you to do, we're not going to escape, we're just going to work to get off in the stun. I want you to come on and punch the living crap out of this vest. Okay, and I'm going to shut my eyes and hear it. Why do you think, DJ, we've got the scouts with our hands straight ahead? Keep your hands inside. Squeeze your elbows. Squeeze your lats as you come off so you don't get caught too wide. Go ahead on your own. Now, start off easy and then really pick it up. Remember to pass the baton. Pad level, great punch. Pound only. Hey, I don't want to see a throw by escape because you can't because they're too slick. I just want to see a get off, a punch, and a pound. Put your hands out straight, Garen. Damn it, you're killing me. Going back. Here's phase 2. Put your hand, listen to me. Put your hands out straight, scouts, and you squat down. As soon as he punches you, you grab him in the triceps. That reminds you to keep his elbows inside. On the stun. Okay, here we go. You can see the application of this to zone blocking or man blocking too. Going back. Can you turn it off, please? A zillion drills that teach exactly the same thing, but you change the toys to emphasize certain things. What they're going to do, these are from Rogers Athletic. We really like these. When I was in small college, we put our outside backers in these all year. So we're near arming or changing wrong arm, whatever. We can really have at guys and not tear up our arms in the whole season. These things are outstanding. Well, it's just like anything else. You have to take your coaching aids and then come up with really other great things, right? You guys knew that on the life vest that you can't really get a good punch in there, you know, and really knife and try to squeeze them because it's so slippery. So what happens now, the scout's going to step up and they're going to bring it into them firm. So now as they come off in a stun, they can really come out, pass a baton, they can really punch. And what this does is force them to get their hands inside, because when you get down and turn this in, their hands got, look at me, your hands got to hit at least 4 to 5 inches inside of each of the edges. Okay? We're only going to do this a couple times. On your own. Now, there won't be any throw-by because we're not working throw-by. We're working getting those hands, stunning him and coming off. And you really need to do this as a change-up. Good, I'm back. And why I'm also doing this, you can see the value of teaching drive block. We'd basically be in the same progression, except there wouldn't be a throw by to get off on the route. Now you're saving all that time. They start to figure it out. Just show them again, man. I want to shut my eyes and really hear a nice pop on this yellow bag. Good. I'm back. Okay, turn it off. Now with the New Orleans Saints, right? Okay. Here's the first drill. Now you got to really pay attention on this. It would probably be good if you just turn like that. Get over here, Brett. You turn like this. Okay. Get over here, Kyle. What's going to happen, here's my partner. Hand sensitivity. Now take a look at this. He's going to start out with his hand inside, I'm slightly outside. Yes? Now all you're going to do, you're going to initiate this. Okay? When you want to, I want you to bring that one up. So I bring mine up, then I want you to bring it down. As soon as you bring it down, you get down slow. All I want you two to do is, look at me, keep your elbows in, just feel it. Keep your elbows in and keep squeezing your lats, just back and forth, nice and easy. Then after they get it one way, get it the other. Cause see, everybody talks in hands, but they ain't talking the elbows. Where you get in trouble on hand sensitivity, your elbows start coming out. So every time you up or down, all you're doing is playing off the defender trying to hold you up. Keep your elbows in. Yeah, you see my elbows? Yeah. Just nice and easy, man. And then as they start to get it, you can squeeze up a little bit. Keep their eyes closed. Okay, whoa, here's phase two. Steve Hagan, Cleveland Brown. You guys are all members. If you ever coach receivers, you want to borrow his tape from last March's clinic on basic receiver techniques and drills. This is exceptional. Because the flex tight end is like a wideout now. Yes? You guys know they've been in my stuff in the D-line. Do we or do we not allow our D linemen against the run block now, not pass, to ever go arm over? No, because you get caught up in rib cage, especially on a zone block team. Shit, you're in section G of the 18th row. So what I'm saying is, a flex tight end, one, why we don't coach anymore, him to try to come off and reduce and rip. Well, one, if you're in my face, right, I've got to change my hands and bunch my feet more because you're right there. Now you're asking a guy to go from here to going under. Well, that's pretty stupid, because if he's playing squat to jam, he's going to get his pads under yours to begin with, so you can't go over. Now, what they do with the Cleveland Browns, which is exceptional. Now, they didn't do it like this, because they don't teach the hand sensitivity thing. But what I'm saying, here's my partner. Look at me. You guys know you're escaping to your left. So he'll alternate a few times, right? And then after a couple times, when you're getting this one down, right? As it's starting to come down, I want you to yank it down, step through, yes, take this hand, bring this glove and this hand over his ear and walk right by him on the midline. Just try to go easy. If they first do it, they'll be way wide. Because all you're getting in is how to flex off against the jammer if you're a tight end flex. There it is. Keep your hand open.
This one's going to...
Yes. See, we don't do that old high swim anymore. Because you give up. It's just like I put the hand. It's just like I threw a hook and I didn't get it. Yeah. But we start out first with a hand spin. The old days we just taught them how to squat and go. Shit, you didn't hand spin. Did you do that on fast? Yes. Okay, now, so they'll get the idea. You face that way again, Brett's over here. Same drill, you're both escaping to the left. There it was, exactly. You see why you bring his other hand as you bring one? He's going to know how to play. What guys, yes, you're trapping his hand. What I'm saying, guys, look at me. Stop. What Brett did so well, when he got Darren to here, as he started to bring it, you bring that offhand along. If you just take a look at his body as I do that, he's getting turned. I'm back on the midline. you're helping him get face to asshole. Go ahead and try it again, man. Hand sensitivity with an escape. This is the hook. We don't call it arm over. It's hook. The idea is we want you to bring the glove and your elbow and your hand through. Yes, open hand. That's why we use the speed gloves, because they're nice and flat. Our guys with boxing gloves have a tendency to grab. Very good, Lips. Okay, turn it off, please. The tape, Kyle. Start over.
Well, what we're talking about is if the tight end's in the flex, and you're running 5-step, because obviously it's time stuff. But if you're not sending them as deep, send them maybe on a shallow out, or one of the little zig outs. If he comes up on the line, he knows he's got a DB in his face. I remember I was playing against a kid at Mesa. He'd always come off, and he's done right now, and just get the DB jacked up, and then he's off, because he's not running very far. You know, I mean, obviously you couldn't really do that 3-step. It'd screw up the routes and all that stuff. But at a 5-step, if you come up, you know you got a DB and you're running a shallow out or an arrow of some sort, stun the DB in your face.
Okay, scouts back up. You still got your speed gloves on. So 2 tight ends at a time, 2 tight ends are flex. Now, what I want you guys to do, when you get Kyle up here, I want you guys heavy, and he's going to change his hands. I want to see your hands about here. All right? And what you're all going to do is you're going to step here. I want to see how fast you can bring your hands from here straight up. So what you're doing, you're basically back into hand sensitivity, except there is no up and down. You go right here, but nothing changes. I know as soon as I come off and his hands are here. Yep. We're here as I get by him. Here we go. Just shoot your hands out, adding straight and low. As soon as he steps, you're a little offside, Doug. Yeah. As soon as he steps with his left foot, just bring your hands up straight for him. Good. Now, what they do with the Cleveland Browns, Steve Hagan, which is fine with me. What Brett did, Brett was fast enough to be able to get this. What Steve Hagan coaches with tight ends flex, and there's nothing wrong with this. Kyle did it a minute ago, just doing it. Bring him up. As I bring it, right? What happens, I'm going to use hand sensitivity all right, but it's just going to be on the escape wrist. Nobody's strong here, nobody's strong here, but I don't want to get to here where he can smother me here, right? So what I'm saying is what Kyle did, because he's been so large before, what he did, hand sensitivity, he went here on the same glove. So go wax on and off on the same one. You don't have to fool that one sometimes. Here we go, the tight end's flex. You're on a route to your left. You can take care of the same wrist. You don't have to worry about getting into the sensitivity thing. Just attach the wrist to the side of the escape. Good. Woo! What's nice about the speed gloves, keeping the because at first it's going to be bang, bang. Then it's going to be bang, bang, and then it's going to be bang. It's going to be almost the same. One more time. Try to get it out. Now, hey, when you guys bring your hands up, keep your thumbs up. Just out straight. Don't help him coming down like that. Because a good DB is going to try to jack you here, isn't he? Attention to detail. Yes, DJ? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here we go. Good. Now, if we can put the defenders facing that way and the offenders are going that way. Turn that way. Over there. So we can get the side view. The defenders are facing that way, the offenders are facing that way. So we can see it good. Here we go. Good. That's the way to reduce that hip and shoulder. Did you see the difference there? Because I haven't brought up the breath. Look at me. When you attack the same hand, right? When you're coming over, then get that shoulder down. It's very similar to a tomahawk, except it's even faster. This is quicker. It's not. get that, reduce that hip and shoulder. Think the brooms now. Think backward brooms. There you go. Oh!
I think he needs to invest in some cleats soon.
I think I broke it. Is it broken?
That's what you thinking.
Hey. Yeah. Go the other way, but broken thinking. Okay. Turn it off. A run to the left. Quarterback is naked boot to the right. Technique is slow block. Slow block gives the defender the indication is you're blocking for the run. Then you throw by and you go arrow. All right? Now, if you have to whirl or not will be based on where the defender is. Let me explain them. So we're talking the naked boot. We're faking a boot to the left, man. You are the right tight end. Yes? Now, to make it more realistic, because if he's heavy or on my inside eye, it's going to be pretty easy. So we put him in Bronco alignment where you're now off his outside foot. So go ahead and do that. What's going to happen, you got to hold it firm. You're going to come off, you're going to punch and pound him because he'll be out here on an angle. So what you guys are going to do is you're basically aren't going to move. So Brett's coming from here to here. He's going to punch, pound. He's going to take you this way. Yes? And you make them count it to themselves at least 4 steps, or, you know, at least 4. It might be 5, but all I know is when I feel that foot coming, now I know it's time to throw, and they're just going to jog about 3 or 4 or 5 steps. They're going to look arrow. All right? This is slow block. Let's go one guy at a time. Kyle's first. This is the naked boot coming back to the tight end against the Bronco outside linebacker. Why we don't want that backer to move, because he'll stay out there. Just walk yourself through it. Now, what could help you even more? What do good blockers do if they ever feel the defender elevate? Hey, arch. So what you want to do, look at me. You want to pound and then arch him before you throw him on tight end arrow, okay? Okay, here we go. See there when he arched? When you finally get him out, now you got separation space. If you stay in here and he figures it out, he'll just work and stay to your outside because that's what good teams do in flow coverage. Pound, punch, pound, arch, and then throw him. This is slow block. There we go. Good. Come on back. Now, scouts, if you'll get head up, please. This is on play action. The boot's coming back at me. Yes? Don't rush it. What they want to do is throw before they get him elevated. Now you're head up. This is, you think they think about this? They don't. We're faking the play over there. I know I'm going arrow. Yes? When I come off, I think I'm coming off straight with the right foot or the left foot. Right foot. He's going to grab me and look for flow to see if he has trail, if he's folding. See? What I'm saying is I want to be coming off the foot where I'm going. So it's 1, 2, 3, or maybe 3, but I can finally go. So come off with the right foot. So just attack him straight, then throwing and go arrow. Now, pay attention to me. Stand up. You're just going to jog the arrow. The depth of the arrow is only 3 yards to 5 yards maximum by the boundary. The idea is after you throw them, you go arrow, get this shoulder pad out of the way as you run. See what I'm doing here? Get the shoulder out of the way. Exaggerate. Okay, here we go. So you can see the ball coming. Excellent, Arch. That's what it gets the shoulder out of the way. Excellent. That's what it snaps the head and the eyes. We'll get into all that eye fixation stuff later. Now the big one. You guys get your outside eye on the tight end's inside eye. They're the right tight end, so you're going to be just inside here. Now, this is big. see if somebody, DJ, test time. We're faking, normally the stretch play doesn't have to be stretched, it can be stretch belly, but we're faking a zone play either inside or outside that way, right? Right? Guy's on my inside eye. Right? Now he may have trail, which he probably is from here. He may have foal, whatever. But we want to influence him. If he's already here, even though I am going there, to sell him on that play is a run that way. Only if he's on my inside eye, only. Do you think I'd step with the inside foot or the outside foot? Inside foot. So he thinks I'm going for cutoff or whatever. Now, we're into the whirl. But we won't teach it initially because here's what's going to happen if you just throw it at them. They just come down, they give them a little punch, then they spin a whirl. That's soft. You've got to come down. So when you guys on your own, you're going to step the near foot. Okay, and what's going to happen, you're going to stay 65, 35, you keep your head just a little right, you're going to drive him down for 4 steps hard and just stay in a flat back. Okay, here we go. On your own. Here's the first part of the whirl. The boot's still coming back at me, the guy's on my inside eye. I'm going to block down, and then we'll show you the whirl action off. It's awesome. The Wisconsin Badgers did this as good as anybody in the country. Okay, I'm back. One more time, then we'll add the whirl. And unlike in the old days, you'll see it in a minute, when we add the whirl, we don't bird dog it. They're going to learn to dance in a hurry. The faster you can learn body movements, the better off you're going to be. Good punch. That's the way it comes. Spread your feet. Okay, now, here's the biggest thing. You're not in a rush. Because our quarterback, if we're faking the stretch spell, he's going to reverse pivot and then boot. If we're faking the stretch, man, he's going to end up over by our other tackle before he boots, so I got all day, right? If this guy's on my inside eye, I want you to take him down at least 4 or 5 steps. Now look at the whirl. The whirl, if you think in terms of which, is it the left foot or the right foot nearest the whirl?
You want the right or the left?
Yeah, but I'm just asking, if I'm drive blocking him, if I'm going that way, finally, which foot is closer to the arrow? The outside foot or the inside foot? The outside foot. So I got to get in a position. What Kyle's asking me, when it's time to whirl, am I here? No, what happens, you get to here. Then you pivot off the right foot and go. So it's like reverse osmosis, you know. You got to, because if you don't do it that way, they'll think, well, no, I'm here. Now it's time to whirl. Well, if you take a look at me, I'm soft. He feels me already whirling back. He'll just stick right on you. Go ahead. Try to whirl. Hey, drive him down and then whirl. Now, hey, when you whirl, look at me. Think ice pick, but you don't want to get your arm out straight because it'll slow you down. Your pads come up. Drive him down, and then when it's finally time to whirl, stick that thing in the ground, right? Drop your ass, think ice pick, but keep the elbow tight. Think ice pick, that gets you right around, a couple steps, get your shoulder out of the way. Here we go, slow block to the arrow on the boot. Good whirl your first time, Kyle. Excellent, smooth. One more time, please. Before you ask me, yes, we also do this on play action at the tight end with no boot action, like lead draw pass. If he's the arrow guy, same technique. Bronco backer, heavy backer, inside eye back. You having a good time, I hope, Shane? See, it's like here, I'm preaching to the choir here. But I think one of the best things we ever did was put those handles out the guys. Okay, go ahead and turn it off. And yes, that umpire, if they have a 2 inside linebacker system, he'll get behind him a couple yards. If the play is a run, he ain't moving. You show pass set, he'll work up a couple yards because he's in charge of holding. If it's run, he don't come up because he knows he's going to get friggin' earhole by the backside backer all the time. That's what the good ones do. All right, so we're going to use Brett and Kyle here. What we're going to do, we're going to learn how to use the umpire. Because what happens if they're man-to-man with a backer or nickel on you and you do this right, he picks the guy on you, man-to-man. And they'll just do it on a jog. What you're going to do, and so this will help me. Garen, come on out, Garen. So, number one, you're just going to stand here as the inside backer. And first drill, I'm not even going to move. Umpire, the line came off. They really sold the zone play here to the boot back there. So I moved. So tight end, come here. What you going to do? One, if we're thinking outside zone play, no matter where this back is anywhere from heavy to outside, right? On air, I want you to step upfield this way. Then I want you to squat, form the T. Then I want you to just jog and find his big old butt. All right? Find his butt. If the umpire does not move on the drag, we want you to come, straight paint, as tight to his ass as you can. Keep working across, just keep working for depth once you get past the umpire. It's nice and easy. This is phase one. He's not stepping up if you fake the outside zone well, because he's got to stay back, because he's still got holding, but he's got to see it coming at him. Okay, here we go. It's nice and easy. Tight end using the umpire on the drag of the diagonal. Good. Now, because we haven't covered it, you know he's going to boot, so I don't really have to snap my eyes here yet, you know what I mean? You'll see why in a minute we start adding defenders over here to teach them, do I sit down or do I keep going? Get this on the tape because this is coming up in a minute. Tight ends are the same as wide outs, same as backs out in a route. You run away from the man in man coverage. You find the open holes, windows against zone. And we're going to add this in a minute because you've seen it every level. Guy will drag across. There's an underneath zone defender out here. Either a linebacker or a DB or a nickel. And they keep coming right into him. You understand, Vern? So we'll teach this in a minute. As they come across, once they get by the umpire, they're looking for anybody underneath. If anybody is sitting down underneath, they're going to learn to sit down and find the open window. Yes? If they come across and there's nobody, they must be in man-to-man. He doesn't have to see who's on to know that. Everybody's running away, then he'll keep going because you run away from the man in man coverage. We're going to get to that in a minute. First thing, you better get the jab step. You better get him to hug the umpire's butt. Go ahead on your own. That's hot, huh? All right. Yep. Yep. Okay, Brett's up. Now what I want Kyle to do is come out here as an underneath defender. You can either be an outside backer off the ball or a strong safety. I don't care. Yes? Now, what I want you to do on air, Kyle, and don't you worry about it if you can't get them all, Sam. Just stay on that tight end. You'll eventually see Kyle. So to make sure he can get you, you start about here. Just sit here and then show me like off man, and I tip you up and just start to take them deep. Now, what's going to happen? I'm going to hug the umpire and look across the field. Asses are going away. There's nothing there. It has to be man there, so it's got to be man here. Run away from the man in man coverage. Okay, here we go. I would venture to say this would be the best tight end tape ever made in the passing game. No, I'm not trying to be hurting. It's fact. Go ahead. Smooth. Try not to break your pinky again. Double straight. Now look, yes, we're running away from the man in man coverage. Come on back. Kyle's up. Now. Do it all here, smooth. Come on up here. It's like an outside backer off. Yep. When you see Kyle move, I want you to pop. Show me zone a few steps, and then it's because what's going to happen? He's going to boot back at you. We're in a 40. Our end's got that. So go out here a few steps and just turn back and sit down in here. Now Kyle, what's going to happen? He's going to sit down, look, about a 45. He's going to sit down someplace right there where. Once you get by him, here's the coaching points. I straight pan the umpire out. Because that guy is man under the zone behind him, he's smashing in. Or he's going to throw it the top. What happens, I see the lift, there's somebody in a zone. Yes? What I want to do is try to get between treat the umpire like a linebacker. Treat him as the inside of the window. He's the outside of the window. Get to the middle of the window. Now the key is, as you're coming across, even though you're fighting for distance, you feel yourself get to the middle of the window, turn, show the quarterback all of you. We just got this from Arizona State. This is so good. If you ever sit down in the window, you'll see how this applies to receivers later, right? It's wide out. If you ever sit down on the diagonal drag in the window, we don't want your hands up here. We want your hands down here. We want your hands right about the pecs. Put your front in the quarterback. You can see how come here. Anywhere the ball goes on the clock, I'm going to be able to catch it by being here. Elbows in, just relax, but about in here somewhere. Not down here, not up here framing it yet because it ain't even coming, right? In here, right? So here, 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 or here. Okay, here we go. Zone defender, treat the umpire as the inside of the window. Treat that zone defender as the outside of the window. Sit down between them, show the quarterback all of you. Get your elbows loose, and not clamp, but loose. Put your hands just about to the pec area. Okay, here we go. Good, I'm back. Okay, switch it up. I do not need a defender out there now. But I do need a tight end. Drop back pass. Tight end's called a diagonal drag. Yes? Now the umpire now is going to step up. So what's going to happen, just as he takes off, is step up into about here. Stop. Now as you come off, now you don't have to jab step, you're just escaping inside. Like the guy was heavy, the drop back pass. Now, the jab step, now you're going to have time. Act like you're going where? On the midline. Don't just come bombing in, just drop back now. Just in play action on the boot. Give me a form the T and come under, but straighten him out a couple steps because you know we're showing drop back. You know so you're going to give the umpire time to come up with it. Now he thinks you're going vertical. Now you come right off his ass and then keep gaining ground. Here we go. Drop back pass. The umpire is going to step up. This is not play action. We don't want him just coming down and dragging. We want him to get back on the midline a couple steps so they're not sure where I'm going, right? Give that umpire time to step up. Here we go. This is drop back pass. Inside escape. Nope, give us a jab, or if he was that good. You do something to get inside of him, but then straighten it out a few steps and then punch the umpire. Here we go. Good. You want to try, Kyle? Now, you know this happens. I'm not trying to talk down. I just heard those announcers on ESPN rail their ass last night. High school officials. It's drop back pass, but you either just stand there or come up. Wherever he is, find his ass. Yes? Okay, here we go, because he may be shitty. I want you to be shitty this time. Okay. So it's drop back pass, but I ain't coming up how I should. Okay, here we go. Now, hey, if he's that deep, this doesn't bother us. If he's that deep, based on if you're on a true drag, a drag to us is pretty shallow. Diagonal drag, you're working for depth. This is not an under. If this was under, he would run under the umpire. Even though he might not get the pick to run away from the man. But for the sake of the tape, you're going to be going over him, Kyle. Okay, here we go. Drop back pass with an inferior umpire. Oh, you got to work it. Good. Yeah. All right, Kyle, stay out there as the defender. Brett's up. drop back pass, and if you're umpire, either zone or man defender, is there a window or isn't there? You run away from the man-in-man coverage, you find the open window in zone, show the quarterback your whole body, and sit down on it. Okay, here we go. Good. That's a great job. Look at that. That's just about dead smack in the middle. Okay, turn off, Matt. Block after the catch. Most undercoached thing on tight ends and wide receivers in the passing game, yes? Block after the catch. All we're going to work is body position. No punches, no nothing. Just get there. You guys that know our stock blocking progression know we're 65-35 always inside out. Yes? Except the backside receiver's always in 100. This is huge. Blocking after the catch, including the tight end. We never want them blocking back behind the receiver. We want them getting up in front of the guy. Yes? It's always in 100 block. Always 100. Because when you see it later, we're going to sit down and stock if we have time, but if I get to him and punch him, then he starts moving. We're just going to drive him one way or the other as hard as we can. So it's a little bit more hostile than a stock. But so if Kyle had me, he knows he'd get his hips in line with mine, he'd be in 100. If I was here, he'd be there. If whoever I got, if he was here, he'd be there. All of them. 100. Yes? What he's going to do, he's going to go arrow. Off a drop back, now, if say this guy was really good, take a jab inside, come outside, squat, right? You go arrow, right? If you're going arrow, you have a flanker out here. You're going to back pedal. Go. Like we threw it underneath here. So you looked arrow, ball's thrown over here somewhere, right? It ain't coming to you. What I want you to do, I want you going back and you going back and over this way. I want you to get to him in 100. What you're going to do, you're going to pedal until about this. You're going to start back up. Okay, stop. When Kyle gets about 3 strikes from him, he's just going to shimmy up, holster, put his chin on his chest. So back up for him and then come up and then stop there. Okay? The point being, we don't want him going after the free. We don't want him coming underneath. We want him to get up to the next level, get up above the guy we threw it to. What I'm saying is, man, we threw it. Full arrow, go. We threw it like here, like on a slant, right? We don't want him throwing across, blocking underneath. Get up above it. Tight end. Okay, I'm back. Okay, here we go. Blocking after the catch. All we're working is getting in 100 on an upfield defender to the side of where the throw had been. Here we go. Anytime. Good, I'm back. Let's see how smart Kyle is. Kyle, your outside receiver, here, I'll tell you what, just make this better. Come here, Garen. I'd have to move. Stand. Kyle knows I'm going arrow. This guy's coming in. Now, what I want you to do is move over, come up. Move over and back up. We'll get into scanning later on the board and off the video. I don't want to do that now because of time constraints. What happens, Kyle knows he's getting arrow, slant. Yes? He sees this. When he scans, he sees a corner up or a strong safety up and a house guy back. Now that doesn't tell him for sure it's cover two. It could be a lot of things. But as he jabs and comes off, so give you some kind of a move. As you come off, you see this guy come up and stay outside. Who do you think I would go? If he's up here, we're going. That's it. You go after the house.
If he inside the slant, I'd straight pin on him and take up.
You will go after the house guy. House guy, start to slide back 3 steps and start coming up and about here and then stop there. What I'm saying is, you get a rolled corner, you're on arrow, your other buddy's coming inside. That number 1 defender stays outside. There's no point in blocking him. He's in bad position. He's gonna have to chase down the slant. And boy, this is so coach guys keep blocking behind the damn play. We want you out in front of him. Okay, here we go. This against a roll corner. This just happened to be out of a cover 2 look. Garen's just going to stand there. Anytime. Getting 100. Yeah. Now we'll make it real. Now lift, you'll slide back, and then you come straight. So he's about 3 steps away. You climb the brakes and let him shimmy up here. Here we go. Just a roll corner. Excellent. Wherever his hips are, you get right in front of him in 100. Understand me? That's the difference between stock on run and pass. Because he is play side, but we're not 65-35 ever on that. Why? Whichever way he goes. Here's the perfect example. Come on out, Kyle. The corner's still up. Go ahead and step up. That's already up. Go ahead and put your chin on him. Go ahead and put your hands on him, Kyle. Yep. I'll be the wideout, which takes some imagination. Kyle knows the corner came up. This guy was inside, but I beat him, and I'm in here, right? Here's the ride by. You guys have been to our stock stuff before. Well, this guy's no fool. The stalker gets on him, the receiver's here, right? He's going to try to work this way. What Kyle's going to do is treat it that was just like the sideline. When Brett goes, just dance with him, just ride him right on by. Go ahead and do that. Huh? Just treat it like a ride by. So here's the receiver. That corner's up. Okay? Brett, just anywhere I go, you start to walk at me. We'll do this on a walk. Set. Hit. Okay. You see why you ride by? Okay, let's try it again. Now, if I'm good, I've been taught any inside route, as soon as I catch it, I want to turn it and tuck it. Okay, here we go. So what's going to happen, Kyle? You start to ride him by, right?
If he turns it up, I would.
Or you can just drive block his ass, but you're higher. This is from Notre Dame. So what I'm saying, if he just tries to come off almost flat, if you're trying to ride him, he's going quick into a higher, it's just like you're blocking a linebacker in Archie. Here we go. Now lift, I'm going to hit it. Set. Hit. Now it turns into a drive block. There you go. That is huge. So there's a lot of differences between stalking and blocking after the catch. Yes? If we may, let's put the tight end on the other side. Let's go, Smooth. Now, you go back here, Doug, as a half safety. Kyle's going to go back over here as another half. About 13 to 14 yards deep, you'll be outside the edge of by more. Tight end was on the back side. Primary side on the pattern's over here. All right, so what happened, we're just going to say for the sake of this, that Brett ran a diagonal drag. He's looking across, right? Sees the ball thrown over his head. I backed up, I backed up. You know, you saw the ball thrown here, how smooth. So I snapped my eyes downfield. I could see the two back. The ball was thrown outside. He was going to go for him or him. You got it. I want you to do that. If he's 3 steps away, all I want you to do is shimmy up. There we go. Set. Hit. Good stuff, huh? Good. And then from there, anywhere he wants to go, I take him. Yep. If he tries to just jump sideways either way, that means the receiver's there, just drive block his ass. Yes? Yes. Now let's see how smart lift is. Lift, your backside on the drag. Remember, the throw's going over your head. Pierce against the drop-down safety. Let's see if he can figure it out. He knows the ball's going over his head. It ain't being thrown to me. Snap your eyes above the throw and get to whichever defender that is. So he thinks it's too deep. Well, it ain't. See if he gets the right guy. Set. Hit. Look. Good. There it is. And again, you can condition with a purpose, you know, you can do this instead of sprints a bunch. Yes? You have a basic feel?